Okay, so we're back. Let's go ahead and edit this track, kind of get it cleaned up, ready for mixing. So let's go to these first tracks, and bear with me. I'm still a bit slow with my shortcuts, but shortcuts are very important. All right, so the first thing, we need to make sure that these are in time and that everything has nice cuts and fades on it so that we don't get any pops. Oops, there we go. Let's actually turn down some of these effects. And I wonder if we could hear that. The little screech there. Whoops. Now you might be saying, why aren't I doing any little crossfades or any fades here? I got a little shortcut that hopefully is going to work, and we're going to do a bunch of them at the same time. So I'll just show you now. Okay, so these last ones, we're going to fade them all. Look at that. That's what we want. So then that saves us a lot of time. And on the beginning, we're just going to do these little fades here, and that should do them all. So that was the reason here, but we're going to keep going here. Now when you're cutting things, always cut all the way to you want to get as close as you can to this part, the right before the transient. That's the best place to not right on it. You got to make sure that you leave enough a little bit of room there. Or else you're doing something that's kind of like a compressor or a gate. You're kind of taking off the beginning. But you want to get to as close as you can to the new transient. These look a little early. Let's see what these. Pull it back in time a little bit. Alright, just keep going here. Alright, as again, I will highlight all of these. All the ones I didn't do, which I think is this one. Yeah. So fade them all a little bit, and the beginning of them just ever so slightly, little fade, maybe a little less than that. Alright, I think those are good. I'm not going to consolidate them because I want to have, if they might be a little out of time. I wasn't that picky on the timing, so I might have to go back over with the timing, but let's go ahead and do this last one down here. It's just the single notes. I just did little crossfades here, a little shortcut X for crossfades in Studio One. Let's have a look at these. Do a little fade on these. Alright, cool. So the little melody's done there, so we'll just turn that down a little bit. Now, before we get to these guys, these rhythm hangs, I got a little shortcut for that. And every DAW should be able to do this, so you just have to figure out how to do it. But we'll talk about that in a second. So let's just clean up these. Oops. All right, let's get to this shortcut. Okay, so what I like to do here is I quantize them, or I guess you're kind of stretching it a little bit, or time expansion. They call it all a little bit different in every DAW, it seems. Elastic time in Pro Tools. But what I like to do is I like to cut the beginning of it. There might be a better way to do this, but I like to keep the original available because I can always pull the original out there. So I like to keep it available if the algorithms didn't grab it, didn't do it right. So then we just go over here and we push quantize, and it should work like magic. Let's see. And watching the transient here, this should move over. So here we go, and cue. There we go. So it moved it over. We're going to have a listen very closely because sometimes there can be some artifacts, and if there is, guess what? I have the original here. See? Oh, hang on, that didn't work. That normally works in Pro Tools, so I'd have to go back. Looks like that one doesn't work. So normally I'd have the original there. So let's just listen. If anything's wrong, I'm going to have to just go back. Yes, that was so much quicker and easier. Now that was okay. That was actually okay. So I didn't need these guys anyway. But I do like to have a spare just in case. I do like to. So I'm gonna have to work out how to do that in Studio One, and what's the smartest way to do that, because I like to have a spare ready to go, and I can pull it out and be like, okay, they did something funky here, and like if you have a look here, they added kind of a little of a note here, and I don't know what happened there. I don't know why it did that, or but something went on there. So and I liked what they did another one over here, and I might have accidentally played it, and then it added it in there or made it in time. This one over here, but I like the sound of that. It does something. It's like a little extra in there, so I didn't mind that. But it's nice to have the spare, so you can pull it back out and go. I should say the original, so you pull back out the original. I like it. I like it. I think we have enough to start our mixing process. And yeah, so join me in the next one and live session, and we will mix this thing, mix and master it, and give it a name and get it out the door. All right, see you then.